Grief Connection. I am so excited today to share Jamie's incredible work with you. Jamie, how are you doing today?
I'm good. A little nervous, like I said, but I'm happy to be here. Thanks.
It's always a vulnerable experience sharing our work with
Yeah.
people, right? We never know how it's going to be received. So,
hmm
before we explain to everybody what you do and your passions, I wanted to share with everybody how I connected with Jamie. Jamie came to me for a session, and I was so honored to hold space with her heart because I could just feel the authenticity and the nurturing that you hold. And it was just really beautiful. And then when I found out the work that you do, I was like, what? And I checked out your website and I was like, oh my goodness, how is this possible that we have this in Regina? So I was so excited. Jamie, let's share with everybody what you do for work. And yeah, we'll start there because it's going to be a lot for everybody to join the ride.
Well, I feel like it's pretty multi-layered,
Yeah.
and like how I got into it, because like it's like what you're talking about is the documentary legacy photography that I do and the multimedia work that I do.
Yes.
hmm
But you do more too because you have a background that kind of led into this, right?
Yeah, so that's it feels like it's quite complex, but I I started as a social worker and then was always creative, and then just started getting more into like wedding, family photography, that kind of thing. And we can go in more a bit more in depth. This is just like a bit of an overview about
Yeah.
the work that I do, but
Yes.
some things changed in my life, and it didn't feel as um, fulfilling, or it felt like I needed to go deeper. I needed to see these deeper pieces that maybe weren't as pretty as the things that
Yeah.
I was taking. And so I transitioned into more documentary legacy photography, and then went into multimedia work to go a little bit deeper. And that's bringing in audio and video and music and putting something together with that work. But then um, going back into my social work world, when I was doing that kind of work, I started taking photographs of myself and just needing that as like a way of processing what it was that I was doing and working with and the emotions that came with it. And so then I knew the healing of that kind of work. And so then I took some expressive art therapy, like phototherapy, therapeutic photography, mindfulness photography, and been certified in all of that. So then coming back to the social work piece, but then including the creative piece into it. So then I started offering, like teaching NGOs like how to do photographic storytelling, and we can go more into that stuff. So it's kind of this weird combination of um, the healing and creative arts and especially around photography. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. That is like incredible. I just have to say, because not only are you giving and supporting people in your day to day, but obviously something has really birthed within you to really capture these moments because these are the most impactful periods of our journey when we all of a sudden have something overhaul us or navigating illness or transition of a loved one. It's like so valuable to be able to capture and hold on to pieces and not only have the visual but the audio and the video too, because I can't tell you the importance that video and audio holds now. Like that's such a great thing that our generation can hold on to and really capture. That's incredible. So what do you think was the beginning catalyst? Because obviously this is multifaceted, but what do you think was the
Mhm.
beginning catalyst of your journey into this?
Well, like I had said, I got into wedding family photography, was doing that for quite a while, and then My mom, she had primary progressive MS. She was diagnosed in 1998. And I would say within about 5 years, she lost like all of her ability to move, to, I mean, even her speech was disrupted. And then she ended up moving into a care home because she couldn't care for herself anymore.
Yeah.
And so while she was at Wascana Rehabilitation Center in Regina. And I just seeing her there, and I just noticed how invisible she became.
Mm,
And just because like she couldn't talk with people anymore, she couldn't have a conversation or feed herself or engage in any kind of way. So really, she was kind of put to the side because she there it wasn't I guess a place for her to engage
yeah.
with. She couldn't get in a wheelchair. She couldn't get around. She was dependent on everybody for all of her needs. And so she just kind of slowly seemed to fade. And then it just seemed like it just started to shift in my life too. And when I was looking at the wedding and family photography that I was doing at the time, I just felt like I wanted to show all of the things, not just the happy, fun things. I wanted to show that, the sad things, the ugly things, but those things can be beautiful too, and
Beautiful.
seeing the beauty in them. And
Yes.
so then I had gone to this conference in Canmore, and it was called the Real Life Conference. And there was a bunch of photographers from all over the world, these documentary photographers, women photographers, and that's what they were doing. They were taking photographs of real life, the good, the bad, the ugly. And that moment being there it kind of gave me permission that where I was feeling was I needed to act on it.
I've got chills right now. Like everybody just stood up. That is destiny finding you, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was. So then I started diving deep and then getting mentorship by documentary photographers. And then I kind of got the courage to ask my mom if I could photograph her story and her journey. And she allowed me to do it, knowing that, you know, just how she was going to be seen in these photographs, right? Wasn't really who she is, underneath all of that,
Yes.
but being vulnerable enough to allow me to do that. And so I started photographing her, and it was a really at first, like I didn't think of it this way. It was just, trying to make her seen, sharing her story, getting people to be like to see like even though she's in a wheelchair and she couldn't really communicate with somebody, but that she was still human and that she was still on this earth. And so I where was I going with that?
You were
Um,
documenting her and she was allowing the vulnerability
mhm.
and it was just where she was at.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Um, and so when I was like doing that, I just started noticing that our roles changed. So before it was more of I was her caregiver, she was, being cared for. So I wasn't a daughter. And so
Yeah.
with my camera in my hands, I actually felt like her daughter again. I felt like she was my mom.
Oh,
And so yeah, it felt yeah, I don't know, it created this different dynamic that allowed me to be her child again.
wow.
Yeah, yeah,
That
it was
is
real.
that is profound right there. That is profound.
Yeah, yeah. So, I just, I guess in that, I started then photographing myself and kind of in response to what it was I was photographing with her, but also as a means of processing. And I didn't really know it at the time, but it was like processing all of the emotions that I had and the grief and the loss that I had been going through for years and years with her. And so, and that was just a really healing. So not only was me photographing her healing and
Yeah.
creating this mother-daughter dynamic again, but then the process that I had on my own when I was doing my self-portrait work was a means for me to process it on my own and like move through it and navigate that. So it wasn't so heavy. It was, yeah,
That
yeah.
is incredible because as a medium, I really find these these hard moments, these real moments, and seeing people at their most vulnerable states, the most important gifts, because it is a
Mhm,
new way of connecting and being able to show our unconditional love and value for another and support them in these impactful moments that their soul is getting ready to transition. So for
mhm,
your mom to be like open and receiving, because a lot of people feel shame about this process, but for me it's such a gift because so many people would just move mountains to be able to have that experience with their loved ones. So for me, on a soul basis, it's a gift of our soul to those that we love to hold space with them. And I love that you were able to step into that and see all the beauty through the pain and the grief and the experience of it and connect to your
mhm,
mom in that way. That is incredible.
mhm. Yeah, and I thank you because it felt that way.
Yeah.
It felt something beyond just taking photographs. It wasn't really about that. It was about the connection, the healing, the I don't know, like something beyond that. I don't really know if I can fully articulate what it is exactly, but I could
Yeah.
feel it within me.
Yeah.
And
It would be like a soul level connection, hey, because it'd be so much more than the physical realm that people are used to experiencing because you'd be really
mm,
connecting to the energy of it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And it just, I feel like, too, like just, and that expanded the work because I wanted to, I know other people when they're going through, terminal illnesses or really some kind of, maybe it's not terminal at that moment, but they're going through something pretty significant. And they
Mm-hmm.
tend to feel invisible. They tend to feel isolated. And so it's a way of kind of validating their experience and showing them, like telling their story, or actually not me telling their story, but them telling their story, but just using me as a means of doing that.
Yeah. Or bringing it back to their identity. Because
Hmm.
I feel as soon as the diagnosis gets hit, everything's about a cancer or this or that. And
Hmm.
people forget the human aspect of it. There's fear, there's judgment, there's all these different layers, and people are either overbearing or stepping back. And I feel like they forget that there's a human here navigating
Hmm.
the emotions of their body changing at a rapid pace and kind of having to surrender to the journey of it.
Yeah. Or sometimes even, individuals will disassociate
Yeah.
from that and they hear that because they go into they want to survive. So then their mind goes into like a survival mode and their feelings go over there. So they disassociate with them. And it's
Yeah.
a way of bringing those feelings back in to understand what it is that they're going through because it has been way over there.
Yeah.
And so it helps bring them back into it and move through it so that it isn't so overwhelming when the feelings do come.
That's incredible. So, do you find that the individuals that are receiving this journey, do you find that they have like a deeper layer of grief or like understanding or connection to the process through it?
Oh,
Because
absolutely, they do.
wow,
Yeah.
because you have the therapeutic and counseling components to be able to like support and validate this experience, but also the artistic components and quite frankly energetic as well. I feel like there's a lot of intuition there.
Love it.
So it's like a beautiful birthing experience for me when I connect to the energy of this. That's incredible. Have you
That's
seen
cool.
some profound shifts through that?
Like within the people?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Like energetically, but even within their face. like just seeing the difference, like the lightness that comes, like before it may have been really heavy. And not to say that that completely dissipates, but like they're finding the light
Yeah.
in those moments where it isn't just like this blanket of darkness and they have nowhere to go, like they see something. And so it gives them something to, oh, like I don't know if hope is too strong of a word, but like just to maybe to reconnect with themselves on a deeper level that they've never experienced before.
Or just even self-love.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
find as humans, this is the overall lesson. Our collective soul group is really has a hard time connecting and overcoming and just loving ourselves no matter where we
Mhm.
are at our healthiest or not healthiest or missing part of us or
Yeah,
whatever it is. It's like really like valuing and appreciating us as a whole. I think that's so incredible. I'm getting a little emotional just thinking about it. Like that must be so incredible for you to be a part of these experiences.
it is because I get to see, because everyone is so, like, everyone has beauty and love, and I get to see it. And I get to showcase that to people and to themselves. Like they maybe had never seen that before within themselves. And then here I am photographing that and they look at it and they're like, what? Like I've never seen myself like that before. I've never um I don't know. So yeah, it's been a really honoring experience. Like just yeah, I feel honored that people allow me to do that.
That's incredible. Now, would you be able to work with somebody if they're with an animal perhaps or like what
Mhm.
kind of things are you do you have limits or is it any kind of experience connected to the heart?
Yeah, it's anything connected to the heart. So I've um, done a documentary series on a dog named Rosie who had cancer. Yeah, and then Rosie passed away, and but I did a multimedia thing about Rosie and the person who loved Rosie and took care of Rosie, and I got to be there for Rosie to have surgery to remove a tumor even and be part of her life while she was still on this earth. Um,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So it isn't just about humans, it's about animals, about nature. It's
Yeah.
about, I do truth sessions even, and even though it's not about grief or loss, but it kind of is in a way, because
Yeah.
it's about empowering women and for them to reconnect to themselves and see their own beauty. But I think due to that, like they weren't able to see it before, is because they've experienced grief and they've experienced loss in different ways, not necessarily a death, but
Yeah.
maybe something within themselves that has died, a part of them or a loss of, something within themselves. So, just seeing their beauty again and reconnecting with it is
Wow.
very empowering.
That is so beautiful because really like that's why I wanted the grief connection was because grief is such a life experience and it's connected to so many aspects. Like
Mhm.
you do lose yourself either in the grief of a relationship or trauma or a job change or just simple, relationship,
Yeah.
transitions in our life. And I don't think people really understand the impact it holds because we're so used to just putting it aside.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So truth sessions. So that's incredible. So do you kind of document that? How would you document that?
See, that's more of like, it's not really a documentary kind of
Mhm.
series. It's more of, I don't want to call it a boudoir because it isn't a
Yeah.
boudoir.
Yes. For that energy.
Yeah. Yes, but it tends to be in nature or it
Yeah.
tends to be in water usually.
Oh, I love
And
it.
and they just kind of I get them to intuitively move and or just close their eyes and listen to the wind and I'll photograph them or just sit and just listen to the sounds around them or we'll play a song and like it's really allowing them the space to do what their body needs to do. or
And to
wants to do.
connect to their soul,
Mm.
it sounds like.
Yeah.
Wow, to really hold space with the now.
Hmm. It's
Oh,
beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful session to have. Yeah.
gosh, do you find it's hard to come back to reality and everyday like people issues after that? Because I know as a medium, it's a hard duality of like having this expansive experience and coming back to kids arguing. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like
Yes. It takes
it,
a while to get back. Yeah.
the balance of it. Hey, do you find that that's
Mhm.
a real mental challenge for you at all?
Oh yeah, absolutely it is. Because
Wow.
you go to another space.
Yeah.
It is an energetic connection that you have. And so then to try to come back into your own body and then live your life how what you were doing before
Yes.
is a bit tricky at first. Yeah.
And I find it's interesting too because like when I do like forensic work and stuff, you really come back and you're like, I just want to cherish every experience I can. And your family, your husband hasn't had that experience, so they're still doing the everyday grind. They're not catching up, and you're just trying to adjust to people, and their experiences and emotions, and it's this duality, right?
Oh,
So
for sure it is. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
must be huge.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's, I guess the part of that is just like having a good self-care routine and, giving myself time to process some of those things and time to come back. So whether that's writing or listening to music or something that allows me to do that, then I do it. But
I love that you do that for yourself because I find that people are so busy now that that's so great that you can recognize the importance of that because the integration for you must be so
Mhm.
incredible being able to have that space.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I don't even know, like, yeah, I don't
No,
know
I
what to
think
say
that's
about it because it's just
incredible. Like,
overwhelming.
yeah, you're doing better than me because it's hard to find that. Crazy, right? But and then I was noticing too that you had some like worldly pictures on there. So I'm assuming you've traveled with this as well. I'd love to hear about that.
So, I've done a few things. So I was an associate with the Photographers Without Borders.
Yeah.
So I went 6 years ago, like now at this
Wow.
time. Yeah, I was in Vietnam photographing people who were affected from the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
So from Agent Orange and from landmines, most of them that I had worked with were kind of dealing with the remnants of that.
Yeah.
And so I was working with an agency there who works with those individuals. So I got to travel all over Vietnam with them and go into homes, far into kind of the jungle there and meet families and, see what their lives were like and try to kind of capture the beauty and their resilience that they were experiencing or that they had within themselves. And because they did.
Oh,
They're still living in really, shitty situations and not having, it's not like it is here where everything is accessible and,
yeah.
or most things I should say are accessible because not everything is here.
Yeah.
But, not having that or even a wheelchair means to get around or like a road, if they did have a wheelchair that was, that they're able to go on with their wheelchair. So it yeah, it was a pretty incredible experience just being able to meet those different families and individuals and yeah, and then just creating, well, I guess what they did with the photographs was they used it as some marketing things to try to fundraise and get money for that organization.
Yeah.
And then they gave money to the families too, so
Oh.
that that could help them. Yeah.
Was that with Red Cross? Is that an extension of Red Cross? Or
No, it's its own entity. So it's called Photographers Without Borders.
okay, okay. I had a friend that was part of the Red Cross working with people in Vietnam with the
Oh, okay.
landmines. And it was fascinating to me to learn about all the different dynamics of that and see that. And then to know that that was connected to some of the pictures, even on your site, it's just that kind of touches home for me. So I think that's very interesting, kind of full spectrum there for myself. And I love that like the beauty in your pictures. I can just feel the emotion.
Oh, good. That's the biggest compliment you can give me
No,
because that's what I hope for.
like and the colors and the reality and just the rawness and the emotion in it. And it's just like you just feel like you're reaching through time to that moment and being a part of it. I just, when I saw your
Wow.
pictures, it was just so incredible
Thank
to
you.
see it. So I really have to just acknowledge that for you, because to be in that moment and to be able to capture it in the way that you do is, that's such a gift in my eyes, because I can barely capture anything that I try to kind of recreate with my phone. So to see the emotion and the expression in it, it's just, it's very profound for me, and it just speaks volume to the care that you put into your work and the connection.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think um yeah, when people are allowing you to be in their space and they're being vulnerable, I mean, that is an honor in of itself that they're allowing me to, they're welcoming me in there. And
Yes.
so, you have to, you walk in with the most amount of care and love that you can, and to see the beauty and to see the resilience and to just to see who they actually really are underneath it all.
Yeah.
And they allow me to do that. And it just, I I don't know, I just get blown away that people allow me to be in their space, and it's just, I feel really grateful.
That is incredible. I totally understand that, and it's like just knowing your heart and your energy, it just, I feel like that alignment would be just so beautifully respected, and I'm just grateful that you're able to understand that side of it for people, because I think a lot of people go in there and just do their work and they don't really understand, how significant these moments are for somebody, like even just capturing just a connection at the hospital bed, like that's something you'll hold on to for the rest of
Hmm.
your life, right? And I keep having this vision of documenting like a child coming and grandparents being a part of it and being able to share it with the children through time and having that, because it's not something children hold on to, but to have that kind of expression and documentation through it, I think that would be so incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome that you said that, because I would love to do more of like grandparents with their families, or like people have lived on a farm for, it's there been there in their family for years, and like having them, if they're on a tractor, and like
Yeah.
photographing them. So it's like this legacy piece for those generations,
What?
afterwards. And so I don't know, I think that's what you were talking about.
Yes, I think
Okay,
it's
okay.
incredible, because there's so many people that come to me and it's like generations of farming and different things, and to
Mhm.
have the pieces for them to hold on to and continue it, even if the farming discontinues, like there's still that identity attached to it, right? That's
Yeah.
part of the values.
Yeah, I think, well, my grandparents have all passed, and the one set that I was really close with, I just, I wish that I photographed her, because she would make like her food was the most amazing food I've ever had.
Mhm.
And like her kneading the dough, and like I can just really smell her kitchen right now, and I can see her hands, in the dough and with the flour, or like she'd make me pancakes whenever I'd sleep over. And I wish that I was able, or I
Yeah.
wish I photographed those moments.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting because part of my self-portrait project, I went back into their home, like after they sold it. The person who owned it allowed me to go back. And when I went in, it felt like I was still in her house, and it smelt like her home. It smelt like her. And it was incredible. And it was just, again, like, so then I photographed myself in their old home, but it was kind of like like it was the weirdest thing. And I found feathers in places, and it was just so moving. And, one thing my grandma, she would pray. And so like I felt like I had to like pray. You know, she'd go on her knees by the bed and she'd put her elbows up and her hands together and she'd say whatever prayer she'd say. And so for one of my photographs, I did that, but it was a really like it was healing. It felt like I connected with her again through that process. And so, you know, that's always what I'm trying to do is it is about this connection. It's about this process. It's about coming back and this I don't I don't know, like it just I feel like there's these words that I could use, but I don't know what they are to really fully articulate like the feeling that I have here
Yeah.
and what it means.
Yeah. And to me, it just feels like connection.
Hmm.
Because like for somebody like me, I never really had a strong connection with my grandparents, but going back to the memories of my mom showing me my grandfather's first house and hand digging the basement out, you hold on to those little moments in time even though you don't understand them. And
Hmm.
then when you get to go back to it and connect to it when you do have an understanding of the significance of it, it just feels like it's like a piece of your soul being seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because you know that they're always connected to you. I think that's the beautiful thing is knowing that, those that, even though we didn't get as much time as we wanted with them, they're so predominantly connected to us. And it's a way to kind
Mhm.
of really connect that together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love that you got the smells and even the environment. Like that is a beautiful gift. That
Yeah.
must have been like a piece of time, like stepping back into it.
Yeah. It was pretty wild actually.
Like that. 'Cause sometimes I'll get hits when my grandmother's energy's around. So it would be so wild to be in an environment that would be
Hmm.
connected to her and being reminded of that there. Like that would be
Yeah.
really powerful.
Yeah. And then all the while photographing myself and processing all of that at the same time. It was really proud, like it was very powerful for me.
That's incredible, Jamie. That's incredible. So, what was like some of the favorite things that you have held on to that have been like just kind of things that are close to your heart experiences through your work?
Oh, you know what? There's every single person that I work with and their family, there's something.
Yeah.
And, you know, like whether that's someone who's, you know, I'm thinking about an end of life session that I did, and this individual passed away within, you know, 24 hours, within 24 hours of me, well, less than 24 hours of me being there.
Wow.
In his home. And, you know, I photographed, they had family and friends come by and visit and talk and cry and laugh. But the way that they would hold him, or like his sons, you know, and taking care and checking in on him, and like, you know, the small glances, like you can feel it. And, you know, so like every single session there's something that I feel, and I notice it's just the love that really that people have for one another. It's
Yeah.
just underneath it all, like you can just you know how much love there is in this world, and to be able to see those things and see the beauty in the sadness, and see because it is there even though someone's dying, there's
Yeah.
still this like the love that is there is so beautiful. And
Oh,
like just it literally took my breath away when I was there. So
that's incredible. I was just actually talking today about what a gift a funeral was for me.
mm,
Because it's a time that everybody comes together and you get to hear different stories or experiences or memories that you weren't a part of, and you get to learn more about these people that you love and cherish, or
mhm.
just even connecting in the depths of love together and being unified in that moment. So that is so beautiful to be able to capture just even those little glances or laughters, because you still have joy and grief.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, I love this. Now, what does somebody need to know for connecting to you? Is there anything that they need to prepare or
No,
no? Hey,
it isn't, no, it's never about preparing because you're being you. and you're
Hmm.
showing up, and I'm just there to document whatever shows up and whatever is there. So I wouldn't want anyone to prepare for that, because
Yeah.
then they're not being themselves. And I just want them to be able to share what it is they want to share, do what it is that they feel they want to do, or open up about, and we go from there.
Oh, I love that. So, is there anything that you feel is important to share with people about this so that they understand or feel a recognition of your work for them?
Um, like, do you mean before or after?
Like anything that you need, you'd like somebody to understand about your work or what you bring to it so that they know that they're making the right choice and connection, perhaps.
Um, well, I don't know, like, just to talk with me about
Yeah.
what it is that they want, because I think, I don't know, sometimes when you just go on social media and you see things, yeah, you might connect with something with, photographs, or if I'm offering something, but maybe just to have a conversation and contact me and find out, I don't know. I, I feel like I can share more about what it is that I want to do, or how I'm feeling about it, or why I do what I do, when I can actually have a conversation about it. Um,
Yeah, that makes sense, right? And getting the energetical connection to them one on one. Hey,
yeah, yeah, but I mean, um, I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't know how to answer that. I don't.
no, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Do you do much traveling now with your work, or was this just the 6 years ago that you did the traveling?
Um, No, I don't. I haven't done that much traveling since. Like, it seems like whenever I go and travel somewhere, though, I tend to photograph people all over. Like, I've done some travel in my life, and I tend to meet people in different places, and just connect with them. Like, I was in Myanmar, and I was at a temple, and there was these two women that were sitting there, and there was something about them that I felt connected to. And even though we didn't speak the same language, we didn't understand one another, we understood each other on an energetic level, I guess. And they let me photograph them. And
Wow.
yeah, and then, like, would hold my hand, and just, I don't know. Yeah, I love meeting people, because everyone does have a story,
Hmm.
and everyone does want to be seen in
Yeah,
this world.
as they
Even though,
should be. As they
absolutely.
should be, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Like, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, this just hit me, but have you had any weird spiritual encounters that you were like, that was so odd when you look back and think of it?
Like, in what way? Because I
So
feel like that's typical, but I don't know what you mean.
this weird vision of like somebody coming to you and sharing an odd, like deep, profound story, but then them disappearing. Have you ever had like, I wonder if they were human or not?
Oh, um,
I know
I
that's
don't
odd,
know.
but
You know, I don't know, maybe, but what you're saying, I kind of feel like, yes, but I can't think of an actual like a situation that occurred in. But I know, like, I used to do a lot of street photography as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
And so I'd go up to people who, again, I would feel connected to in some kind of way, or
yeah,
just, like, intrigued by. And so then they
yes.
would start sharing their stories with me, and then I'd never see them again, usually.
Yeah. It was the weirdest thing. They just showed me because sometimes us intuitives, we have these encounters with like angels, like or a soul that comes to us in a human form. And we
Mm.
have these different conversations with them. And then when we separate, we stop and we ponder and we're like, that was so odd. And then you start realizing the energy was different and the different aspects of them that are altered. And you're like, was that was that somebody who was alive or was it? And I just wondered if you had ever had that. And I kept being shown a temple area.
Oh.
Did you ever go to Tibet?
No, I've never been to Tibet, just Myanmar, Vietnam, and then China. I've been there.
Okay.
But
That's interesting. I don't know why I got shown that. So if you ever go like around the temples or something, just be forewarned.
no, I'm just wondering though, because when I travel, I like to go to places of worship
Yeah.
wherever they worship.
Yeah.
And so I've been in different, like I'm thinking Peru maybe.
And the crystal blue eyes, they keep showing me crystal blue eyes,
Oh,
which
I
is
don't
so
know.
odd.
I'll have to sit with this because I'm not
Right?
sure. Yeah.
So sorry, I've never had that during a podcast session, but I just had to ask because I just kept being shown like different stories of intuitives, and we have these weird moments, and they're like, it's like a gift and recognition of what the work you do. So it's like an honor to receive those moments with those higher frequency souls. And they just showed me like a recognition point and value with you. So that's
That's,
cool.
well, yeah, that's really cool. Well, okay, this has nothing to do with another person, but I was in a labyrinth once, like by Lumsden,
Yeah.
and I was meditating in the middle of it. So I walked the labyrinth and I sat and I meditated, and then I felt like something was with me, and I opened my eyes and a fox was sitting next to me. Well, like a meter away, not directly next to me.
Yeah.
And then it scared the shit out of me. So then I jumped up and then I scared it. And then it ran. I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, but I wasn't. I didn't. But that's the only thing that I came up in my mind when you were talking. I don't know.
That's like that because they will go in the vessels of animals and reach out. Was that a bison farm or something?
No, just by Lumsden. Like, do you remember? Have you ever seen the labyrinth by Lumsden?
Perhaps is it by the in the valley there?
Yeah, it's like right by that St. Michael's Retreat or wherever. Yeah, it's like right next there.
Easy, Jamie. I love that.
So I don't know if it was that, but
That is incredible. Okay, it's so cool. I just love that because you're a higher angelic frequency, so it's like my intuition's popping.
that's cool.
So cool. So I wanted to check with you when we connect to your work and stuff, what has grief really taught you about yourself?
Um, oh, it made me understand myself more
Mm,
because I think if I hadn't gone through it, like as difficult as those situations have been in my life where I have experienced grief and loss,
yeah.
that I wouldn't have gone as deep. Like I wouldn't have known myself on this deeper level. And so I guess that's the biggest thing that I've learned through that is knowing myself more.
Wow. I love that. And I love that you were able to receive the gift of that because
Hmm.
it really is a gift to connect to ourselves deeper and honor the pieces that kind of come forward.
Hmm.
I really love that. And then what do you think has impacted how you want people to remember you?
Okay. So,
Like, like when we work with grief, I feel like we recognize the importance of like how we show up in the world.
mhm.
And for me, it's impacted how I want people to experience me and remember me. Do you have like a shift in that for yourself? Like has that really come like full force for you?
I feel like it's never really been about me. Like it has, but it hasn't. Like I've been
Yeah.
affected by it and I've gone deeper and I've understood things a bit differently and on different levels. But it's I f- I don't know. I feel like not about me. It's about allowing other people to be seen. And so then
Yes.
to hold space for that, like I
But
don't know,
what
like
with your family and stuff though, like through the experience of your work, bringing it back to your family, like has it really kind of shifted of like how you want them to remember your connection points with them or how you show up for them?
um I would like to say that they feel that already because
Oh,
I
good.
want to show that I see them all the time and I see their beauty and I tell them all the time, like my boys and my husband, and my dog.
Yeah. You're better than I am because I tell you what, ginger rage they get in my family, and I swear it's because I trust them.
That, that's cute.
You already like had that importance and awareness and understanding and have always led with that, then that's it just speaks to the volume of your soul.
I think it's just too like knowing that just not having a mom to
Yeah.
really be a mom for a lot of my life. And so wanting to show up and be the best, I mean, yeah, I'm not my best version of myself every single day.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
human. Um, but at the same time, like I want them to know how much they are loved and how
Mm,
much they mean to me and how their light in this world is big and I see them shining.
yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know if I answered your question or not,
No,
but
I think you did. That's beautiful. I love that. And then what do you think is the hardest challenge for you with grief? Like, do you find that there's something that is really hard for you to move through with the experience of it?
yeah, I mean, like there's moments, right? And I think grief never ends.
Yeah.
It just shifts and it changes. And I mean, I change with that too. And so, yeah, there's moments where I get, I smell something or I see something
Mhm.
or there's a memory that comes up and my heart, feels a bit heavy or I, cry a little bit or just, reminisce on that individual. And I think um, it's not necessarily difficult. Like it's, I guess, painful, but that doesn't seem like the right word.
Yeah.
But then I'm also honored that I've had those memories, and it just shows how much like I love them and
Yeah.
they love me. So I don't know.
Gosh. I love when we can go through the understanding of the pain and the separation and connect to the roots of the love. Because to
Mhm.
me, grief is very much the representation of the depths of love that we exchanged with that individual and the unique love that we had together, you know?
Absolutely. I photographed this woman, Tara. She had melanoma and like terminal melanoma, and she passed away. But I got brought into her life by a friend of mine who was friends with her, and she wanted to tell her love story to her children before she died. And
Hmm.
so then I went and I photographed her and her children playing and doing things like numerous times and over like a period of time too, and just went back and forth. And then I created a multimedia and I interviewed her and then I created this multimedia, but she was sharing the love that she had for her children. And that's what it was all about at the end of the day, is just the love that she had and for them to know that they were loved and the memories that she had and is holding with her forever.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is so beautiful.
it was. Yeah,
I just like the power of that, of the child receiving that, but not only that, being able to share and extend that to their children or their children's children,
yeah,
right? Like that is like a captured vessel of time that can be held on to forever.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. It
Wow.
just was a gift that she gave to them. But then I think in doing that, it was it seemed like it was therapeutic for her to
Yeah.
be able to share that and to allow me to come into that space and, photograph them doing things together. So,
Oh, I love that. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with everybody about your work or who you are?
well, I guess like one other thing that I've done that we haven't really
Yeah.
talked about too much was I like will work with NGOs sometimes. And so I got an arts grant and I worked with a shale home, and it's a home for women who have addiction. And then
Yeah.
so it's a residential facility and then their children can come there.
Wow.
And so what I did is I taught them how to photograph, like do photographic storytelling. and how to take photographs. And then they told their own stories. And through that process,
Wow.
yeah, it was incredible. So lots of them were talking about their story of recovery or like their hopes for the future because they had been an addict for so long and like what kind of life they want to live, what kind of life they want to have for their children. And so they wrote about that, or one person wrote about the death of her sister and she processed the grief and loss of that death because she'd never spoken about it. Yeah, yeah.
The impact of that moment in such a vulnerable time, right? Where you're just
Oh yeah.
overwhelmed to be able to channel it and
Oh
direct
yeah.
it into something. And like, that is incredible.
Hmm. Yeah, so and I would love to do more work like that as well because then people are learning to tell their own stories too. I'm just showing them different ways to do it or like prompting them and helping them like pull it out and like reassuring them that it's okay to tell their story, to be seen, that they can be vulnerable.
That is so beautiful. And can I just say, like, you must have the most beautiful mind to be able to like flow with that because like even me, I don't know if I could be able to do and navigate that, but to just like visually pick it up in my head as you're speaking these things, it's just so beautiful to see. Like it's very cool. And the power of that when you're healing and when you're, getting sober from addiction, there's so much layers of grief.
Oh
It's
yeah.
so complex and it's so intense. So to be able to like express and process it through that and be able to like give that for other people's inspiration too.
Yeah. It was a powerful, powerful experience to see them. And then they would write pieces about the photographs that they took. And so then like, it was difficult for them at times to talk about some of those things that they're photographing or their hopes and their dreams. But they wanted to share it. And then we had an exhibition for them. And they got to stand there and have their photographs and share and stand next to them and be proud of what it is that they accomplished. So it was so beautiful.
Oh, tearing up again. That is so incredible. Did you just see such a transformation in their face through that? Because that would
Oh
just be
yeah,
transformative.
absolutely it was. Yeah.
Wow. Like the before to after, I just feel like would be so polar opposite.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was incredible.
Oh,
And
wow.
just like seeing the difference of, being a bit unsure at the beginning
Yeah.
and like as they're just sort of like starting to kind of play around with photography or like using it to tell their stories and then totally embodying that and putting it all together like it was pretty cool to see.
That's amazing. Have you ever been able
Yeah.
to follow these people through time or still continue a connection point?
um well, yes and no. Like sometimes I spoke with their house kind of manager person and then they had and actually I got them an exhibition in the community. So another one. So they are at the Last Mountain Cultural Center and were even paid for their work to be there up on the walls. And yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah. So then I got to see them there too and just them, witnessing their work in that way was just, I don't know. It was something.
Oh, that's really incredible. I really like that is amazing. I'm so grateful for the work that you do.
Oh,
Like
thank you.
I really am. I cannot wait to continue to share that with people because I was just so moved by the pictures that I saw and just the work aspects that brought to light. But to have this conversation and understand the depths and all the layers to it, like that is so important. And thank you for what you do. Like,
Well,
thank
thank you for
you.
inviting me to talk
I,
about it.
I feel so honored to hold space with you. That's incredible.
Aw,
Oh,
same here, same here.
yeah, thank you so much. So, where can people find you so that they need to explore this? They just have to.
Well, I have a website.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it's what is it? JamieWhitecheck.com, www.jamiewhitecheck.com.
And I'll make sure that they can link that. And then do you have like any social media for people to follow?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and I think it's Jamie Wycheck Photographer. And then
Perfect.
on Facebook, it's JLW Documentary because it won't change for me. They tried to change it to Jamie Wycheck Photographer. So I'm like, whatever, I'll keep it as it was before.
That's Destiny United there.
Yeah,
That's just overhauling it.
yeah.
It's incredible. Well, listen, I have to thank you so much for sharing these profound stories with us and holding space. It really means a lot. And thank you for your heart in your work.
Oh,
It's
well, thank you for inviting me to share that and just to be part of this community that you're creating because I think it's
mm,
so important. And I think we need to have more conversations about grief and loss and and then connect with one another through that because it is ultimately about love and connection. And yeah, so just thank you.
thank you so much for that. I couldn't agree more. And I love that we can open up all the different boxes in it because there's so much to connect to each other through with grief. So that's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank
Grief
you.
Connection, please make sure to leave comments and show gratitude and support for Jamie and her time. And I can't wait to continue to share that journey of hers with you. And we hope you guys all have a beautiful day. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.